in their own way. Quiet, Shugo. And, ooh, what are these? Yeah, no. And, the PvP system was great back then. Best of its kind. Then, around 3.5 came out, level 60s. Running around, ruined that PvP. Alright. We had to level up, get to Balaria. No, we were level 55. You know, you level up, you got to Balaria. Balaria, great new PvP zone, full of stuff, new skills, everything. It was like a freaking World of Warcraft expansion. Actually, there was an expansion that went with it. Didn't sell really well, though. Then... ah, crap. My game's gonna... nope. No. Alright, so I'm glad we didn't have to deal with that. Now... Aion today is just... I can't believe I just deleted that mission. You die now. Aion is basically the lost game. It's the game of lost potential. There we go. That's actually a great name for it. No one take that idea. I said it. But today I feel like the game has reached, and it's basically trying to revive itself, and it is doing that very well. I mean, the communities, as you can see, is clearly back, but it doesn't feel like there is no community. The only time you'll actually ever play with players is communicate is when you're in a PvP fort raid and you're going after something big. Back in the day, I'm actually surprised I can say that. Back in the day when Aion first came out, in the Abyss, there was a fortress known as the Divine Fortress. It's still around, of course. The Divine Fortress is the most difficult fortress in the game. Was the most difficult fortress in the game to capture. The boss and all the enemies were level 50, like elite. So we had to break in, kill the boss, and get past all their shields. And the shield was a hard part. You couldn't get past the ether shield because the shield was below a level to which you can't shoot with range. So we were basically always having to charge in, break down the walls, after you broke down the walls, you had to go in, kill off the God, it's the field generator, the ether field generator. And then after that, we would just go in, break down the last wall, and go in and fight the general. And you had an hour to do this. Now, even with 300 people, this was still a hard task. And then you had the people who knew I think there was one legendary fight that we've ever experienced in this game. When we did the Divine Fortress one time, it was 2 alliances. 2 alliances equates to 48 people. Now, I was level 50. No, I was 48 at the time. And I basically went in and I'm like, okay, so as long as they don't show up, we can win this. Well, that was great. They didn't show up. The issue was the Dredgian showed up. There was a Dredgian down there by the Divine Fortress. Well, okay, you know, one Dredgian, we still went in there, we still tried to fight. Well, then something completely strange happened and a second Dredgian spawned. Now, that's never happened before. No, 2 Dredgians don't spawn. The whole point of it being a Dredgian is because it's the Dredgian. So we had 2 Dredgians, and we had 2 alliances. There was not enough people to take it. So we're just like, okay, well, we know we can't win anyways, but we still went for it. The amount of Balar, there was 2 Dredgians worth of Balar, and they couldn't take the fort. The Divine Fortress was too hard for the Dredgians to take, because they didn't spawn their, basically their own deity generals at the time, so they were basically screwed, and, we were basically just being slaughtered. I didn't die that much, because I wasn't gonna die, like, on purpose. I would just leash one target around the Divine Fortress, put my dots on him, and I'd kill him. Now, that was fun. That was probably one of the fun times that you actually dying in the game.